Suit up! Suit up! Suit up! You suited up! Snow suit up! Flight suit up! Penguin suited up! Suit up! You suited up! Birthday suited up! Slut up! Suit up! Suit up! Suited up! Suit up! Suit up! Space suit up! Suit up!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Suit Up section, brought to you by ShifterMagazine.com.
Yep.
They are your online destination for interviews, articles, how-tos, reviews, and all those good things. To suit you up today, we wanted to highlight something that many musicians already know, but many do not know.
Yes.
We're talking about SOCAN. We wanted to bring this up because as songwriters, singers, performers in the music industry specifically,
yes,
many of us have music that is out there being played, could be on radio, could be college radio, could be performed in, big festivals. And so there's no money coming back from that.
Yes.
SOCAN in Canada is the organization that tracks radio play. It tracks live performances, even if you perform your own song, and they will ensure that you will get paid.
Yeah.
They will provide you with a check by mail or direct deposit, and all you need to do is make sure you register your song.
Yes.
So the whole idea here is to ensure that all of your songs are registered with SOCAN. If you have never done that, if it's foreign to you, go to the website SOCAN.com. It's spelled SOCAN. SOCAN.com. Registration is very easy. If you've written a song and it has had any kind of airplay, that registration could produce some actual financial income for you. And it is a permanent source of income, recurring income through royalties.
Yes, I'm glad you added that, because I was going to add that for just some key points, just to add to that real quickly. Again, we're speaking for the Canadian listeners here. Right. So SOCAN is the organization for our Canadian listeners. In America, their equivalent, I believe, is ASCAP.
ASCAP or BMI.
Or BMI, yes.
Yes.
I don't even know if I pronounced that correctly, but it's ASCAP and BMI. But they function something similar like that. You should go online and definitely get registered with them and find out how things work in your particular country. If you're in the UK, I'm sure they have something as well. But the other point is, like CDH Life said, it's a ongoing payment for your work in a royalty perspective. Right. We're not talking about one and done type of thing here. If you are doing any work and you're publishing it, having it played on radio, particularly college radio, because I know that's where a lot of my work was played back in the days. You never know. You might not get the money. You might not be getting a radio play at the time, but years down the line, you may see those checks show up, and I can attest to that. We even have, I have videos, behind the scene videos of Live and Rock when we first started out last year, of me getting a check from a song that I performed like 10 years ago.
Yes.
So yeah, if you're an independent artist, you know what it's like. NAH, I'm sure you know what it's like you just alluded to in the first part of the show.
Yes.
Getting those funds to keep afloat from any way you can, any source. Definitely get your music registered so that you can take advantage of that.
Absolutely. If you are not in Canada or the U.S., what you're searching for is performance rights organizations.
Yes.
And a performance rights organization in any country will do essentially the same job of tracking the performances and plays of your songs and get you some money for them.
And I can't stress this enough again. Even if it's not a commercial release,
yes,
even if you haven't released your music commercially, again, I've received checks for me performing a song which I never released commercially, but I performed it once on a TV show when I was, being interviewed, and I appeared on a TV show to promote my stuff like 10 years ago, and I got a check for it like last year. So it's a great thing.
And that's our suit up for this for this episode is performance rights organizations, and specifically in Canada, SOCAN.
Yes.
Thank you once again for suiting up with Live and Rock. And we're getting ready to go into our
feature conversation
where we give you those updates, what's up with Live and Rock.
On our ongoing journey.
Which means that our esteemed guest for this episode...
Yes, Miss Nicole Robinson, who was quite the delight, has been quite the delight, even though she doesn't want to say anything on the mic.
I don't know what's...
we just want to wish you a fond farewell and
an invitation.
Thank you for having
to come
me.
back.
Thank you for my invitation consistently.
Yes, and now that we've broken the ice, we're probably going to see you a lot more, right?
Yeah, for Beyonce,
just smile and nod. Just smile and nod. Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right. So just before you go, Nicole, is there anything upcoming that we should be looking out for, or that?
Well, I don't have any dates right now, but I will definitely be working on a solo show. Sometime soon in the future.
That's big.
And no, I won't say it.
Too late.
Yeah.
Too late.
And as we go into the feature conversation with What's Up with Live and Rock, I'm also going to throw it out there. NAH appearing on the CDH live show that's being worked on for.
Why are you looking at me for that?
I'm just throwing it out there. You know, a couple duet, even a 2-minute section. You know.
Yeah, I mean. Look
Don't
out
worry.
for it.
All
Watch out for it.
Look out.
Coming soon.
All right.
So thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you. Yeah. This was fun. Thanks.
Cool.
Bye.
All right. We'll see you guys in a minute when we come back with our feature conversation. What's up with Live and Rock on episode 24 of Live and Rock.
Rockin'. Yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Ooh.
Yeah, the ongoing journey.
I think we're dating ourselves.
The saga continues.
Sorry. Oh, are you talking?
Ladies and gentlemen,
you
here we are.
Welcome back Carter reference, and you just got me off track.
That's a great thing about music. You can catch people with it. Yeah. Okay. So the saga continues. What's up with Live and Rock?
Yes.
We're gonna, go over a few of the celebrations and challenges we've had since the last episode.
Right.
And catch up where we left off.
Okay.
Do you want to jump right in?
What?
I was gonna say, I guess, just to let you guys know, the where we left off last time was with the major goals, specifically for CDH Live Productions, and then just talking about what our next steps are.
Well, we were analyzing and just testing and making sure that your new SMART goals measure up to the definition of SMART.
True indeed. So for those who missed last episode, our major goals right now, Live and Rock are on this show consistently together, but we actually are doing two completely different things creatively outside of this show.
That's correct.
And so last episode we clarified what the goals are. And Shell Rock, you want to just give them a quick update on what yours were?
Well, before we get into that, I mean, we were going to start with our celebrations and our challenges since the last episode. So anything you got to celebrate since the last episode, and any challenges on your road to?
I mean, there's always celebrations and challenges. For me, the biggest celebration right now is just getting new songs. And I've been, as an artist, as a songwriter, I've been really traversing the wilderness of songwriting for over a year.
Yeah.
And so right now, I'm working on a live show.
Yeah.
And the songs are finally starting to come together. Some of them I've been working on for, over a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And so just being able to see those things start to come together is a huge celebration.
Okay.
But the challenge continues to be the time.
Okay. So over the last 2 weeks, the biggest challenge has been just the time again.
Yeah, the time each day. I shouldn't say only the time, but also having the energy at the appropriate time.
Okay. Which ties back into your strategy,
right,
that we were talking about / debating about scheduling.
right.
Okay.
But the goal itself is on track to have a marketable show within the next 6 months.
Okay. We're going to talk about that too, even though this is going to be a truncated version of the feature conversation, by the way.
Right.
Because we spent a little bit longer on our guest
of course,
earlier. Yeah. But we are going to talk about that. Cool. So I'm trying to think what's next. Celebrations, challenges.
Yeah. You did the Comic-Con.
Yes. Okay.
That's
so
a celebration.
Yeah. I did the Comic-Con a week ago.
Right.
And the good thing that came out of that was I ended up getting, me and Rob Clark ended up getting a personal invitation to do an appearance at a comic book shop for Free Comic Book Day.
Wow.
Which is next weekend.
So as a team, you guys got the invitation?
Yeah,
that's nice.
Like the guy who owns the shop and is putting on their event for Free Comic Book Day, he just came up to us and he was like, yeah, he likes our work and he wants us to be there. We're going to get the table for free.
So just to clarify for those who don't know what Comic-Con is,
yes,
and what you're actually talking about, can you?
Oh, yeah. So basically for the new listeners, I'm a writer. I do specialize in genre fiction, like superheroes and modern fantasy, that type of thing.
Right.
The novels I have I have comic book style illustrations on the covers, etc.
Right.
My blog is Space Love Superheroes.
Yes.
And again, it talks about nerd culture in that way. So we're doing a Comic-Con, which is a Comic-Con. It's like where everybody go. Everyone knows what Comic-Con is. I don't have to break that down.
They don't know what you're doing there.
Oh, well, I'm at Comic-Cons to promote my book and to promote my blog, Space Love Superheroes. And also, in an effort to promote my blog and the book, I also came up with this line of motivational comic art pieces called Inspirations.
Right.
Which feature a motivational saying and, graphic design collage of different superheroes.
So you and your partner, Rob, are actually having a booth, a table, where at the Comic-Con people will see you there, see all of your products, your books, your inspirations.
Sorry, yes, that's correct. Yes. Sorry, that's a very good succinct explanation. That's correct. So this was a super small con that we were at last week that it was last minute. The attendance was ridiculously low. In fact, I didn't sell anything there. But the celebration was that we still ended up getting an invitation to go to this Free Comic Book Day at this comic shop next week, which we don't have to pay to be there. Instead, we're in essence being brought as guests. We don't, they're giving us tables and we're going to do our thing. So it's just like free promotion and free money.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah.
So it sounds like just celebrations this time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a challenge. There's no definite challenges that I haven't done anything. Since last week, my blog has been dead in the water because some real life challenges, crisis came up that I talked to you about offline that's basically took over my life for the last week. So I haven't been able to spend a single minute on my blog, which is super sad, but hopefully that will all be wrapped up by next couple of days. And I can get back on track.
That's interesting because your major goal that you stated last was to create more engaged subscribers to your blog.
Yeah.
So I wonder, life happens, of course, right? Just like it does for me.
Yeah.
But I wonder how has putting that primary goal affected your thinking when life happens? Like, do you think that you would change your decisions about, events if they were going to prevent you from getting your blog done?
No, because the events is not preventing me from getting my blog done. It's actually part of the strategy of reaching my goal, which is one of the things we want to get to by the end of this episode.
Okay.
So we started talking about what the goals were. And then last episode, we started talking about, are the goals themselves meet the criteria of being a SMART goal?
Right.
Once we've established that, the next thing that we're going to focus on in terms of our conversation is what is the strategy to meet those goals?
Right.
And, for me, Comic-Cons, doing them is it's one of the major linchpins in my strategy, but it's not the goal itself. Right. My goal ultimately really is to establish myself as a proficient writer / content creator in the nerd culture industry, period. And that's my 12-month goal. My 2-year goal is pretty much exactly the same, but instead of just establishing myself, to be actually being paid as a professional in the industry. So that's essentially my ultimate goal. That's my goal.
Right.
So, how does those challenges affect me? The same way it affects you. It just makes me get sad in the moment, or that I didn't get anything done.
Right.
But have to adjust and think about how I'm going to avoid it and get over it.
Right.
To stay on track moving forward.
Yeah.
You didn't have any time last week or within the last 2 weeks to get, the work done on your music. I don't know. Did you say you got none done like me? Or
I'm definitely getting stuff done.
Oh, okay.
That was the celebration, is that I am getting things
Some done. No, but you also said that you didn't have time. That you were...
So time continues to be a challenge. So I'm, squeezing the time in.
Oh, okay.
And so far, it has been fruitful.
Okay.
But as far as where I would like to be today, for how much songs I have completed,
okay,
I'm not there yet, and I think that's partly because I haven't had as much time as I would have liked.
Okay.
So I haven't had as much dedicated time to it because of life circumstances.
So that brings us back to the goal, at least in my mind, because part of setting the goal, why we started this whole topic of SMART goals, is because you need to be able to measure and really know whether or not your goal that you said, in your head is realistic and achievable.
Yeah.
So let's go back there. Like, we already started with your artist goal.
Right.
What about your company goal? Is it realistic? By the SMART definition of a goal, is it something that's realistic? Is it something that can be measured, or do you need to go back to the drawing board and really figure out? Because when we talk about not having time, a lot of times us not having time goes back to us not having developed a realistic expectation as regards to the amount of time we can spend.
Sometimes that's the case. I'm glad to report that that's not the case here.
Okay.
Life is life.
Okay.
Right? And so there are things beyond our control.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm definitely on track, and it's still a realistic goal that I have set forth.
So what is your goal for the company, just to recap?
Yeah, so CDH Live, the artist, is working on a marketable show.
Yes.
So it only makes sense that CDH Live Productions' primary goal is a master marketing kit for that. Not specifically for the show, but for CDH Live, period.
I'm not sure I'm following.
In other words, well, let me break it down for you.
Okay.
CDH Live Productions is a production company.
Yes.
What we do is produce video, music, graphics, but more to the point is we create effective marketing materials.
Yes.
For artists, entrepreneurs, small business or nonprofit organizations. The types of projects that CDH Live Productions wants to work on is anything that can be considered inspiring entertainment.
Right.
So while I have, different clients that I may be doing a short job for, maybe a promo video or maybe a flyer for somebody,
yes.
or a logo and business card for somebody.
Yeah.
A master media kit is what's required to have the best impact, meaning that you're using all elements. You're using some type of visual in terms of graphics.
Yeah.
You're using some type of video.
Yes.
And you're going to have some kind of audio included with that. Right? Whether it's just voice or it's music and voice together.
Yeah.
But you need all three of those elements to really have a master media kit.
What about like text?
Text,
like bios?
Huge, yes. Bios. Press kit includes things like your bio, your accomplishments,
right?
Your description of your product or service.
Right.
And in the case of an artist, it's describing the sound and the what genres it's rooted in and what is the vibe and message of the artist. And so you had a question.
Yeah, this is going kind of off on a different direction, but the
just
question
so you understand.
You sparked the question. So do you do that type of thing for other creatives other than musical artists? Like what's the application, and how would someone who's not a musical artist use CDH Live Productions, or is that beyond the scope of what you
absolutely. CDH Live Productions exists for artists, entrepreneurs, and small businesses or nonprofit organizations.
So you would do a press kit for any of those three?
Absolutely, yes, and have done. So I've done marketing materials for authors, marketing materials for events.
Really?
Marketing material.
Okay,
for
now you got my
small
attention,
business
bro.
owners.
You got
The thing is, I'm inspired by people pursuing their purpose, their dreams, their passions.
Yeah.
So, one, just for example, I always shout out Stubbs.
Yes.
Because Stubbs is founded by somebody who has a dream of creating a difference in the realm of men's hair and fashion.
Right.
Or hairstyling.
Yes.
So to be able to work with someone like that who has a clear passion and vision, I love it, right?
Yeah.
And I bring the business side that I've learned over the years, and the creative skills, graphics, video, etc., and help them to refine their content, to communicate better to their potential audience.
I'm glad that we were able to go down this little bit of a rabbit hole for you to break it down a little bit more, because it gives me a clearer picture and a bigger picture of what CDH Live Productions is about.
Yeah.
And now that I see that, I'm excited to see what you're going to do for me. Just joking.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. But no, for real, I'm also going to tap you to do some stuff for me as things progress down the line for H.S. Lee, the author. But
yes,
now I can have a more insight into understanding your SMART goal and how, whether or not it's realistic. So break it down for me now again. So the goal you said was to do a mass marketing kit.
A master marketing kit.
So is that a master marketing kit for who? For your company? Like that's where I'm lost.
Yes.
So mastering, basically a kit that tells everybody else what you could do for them.
Essentially, yes. And the funny thing is,
okay,
I wrestled with this a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to come up with one goal and one focus.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, what I realized is that I do have clients coming to me. Mm-hmm. So I don't, at this stage where I am, I don't need to be focusing on getting new business.
Okay.
I need to focus on being the example of what I want to do for my clients.
Okay.
Meaning really focusing on what is it that CDH Live is about, as an artist and a production company.
Okay.
How do I unify those messages so that people understand it in one instance?
Yes.
And how do I best communicate it? And I look at it as in 3 phases.
Mm-hmm.
So phase 1 is just the ground zero of basically your logo, your business card,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe social media accounts.
Okay.
Right? Phase 2 is where you start developing the content, the communication, messaging, meaning what does your brand stand for, the values, the mission statement,
Okay.
and you start getting into actual video promotions,
Okay.
and promotional brochures.
Okay.
So it's not just like an ID card,
Right.
but it's actual promotional material that communicates what your brand is,
Yes.
who it's for, etc.
Yeah.
And then phase 3 is where you have your full website, and it basically brings everything together. So you have your full website with clear and consistent branding, colors, messaging,
Right.
fonts,
Yeah.
and that goes across your social media platforms, that goes directly into any kind of media communication. If you have interviews with radio or TV or newspapers, magazines, etc., that everything is consistent because you've taken the time to think about it and make it clear and as simple as possible.
I'm digging what you're laying down right now. Like everything you're saying is just like, I know what you do.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. No,
you don't.
Scratch
you
that.
don't
I
know.
don't
that's
know
why.
what you do.
That's why I need
You
to make the master marketing kit, because people come to me for one specific thing. People may come to me to do a business card, or people will come to me to do a promotional flyer for an event, or they'll come to me for a logo. But they're always coming for one little piece,
tiny piece.
And I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I like to go deep. So the more I was doing that kind of work for people, the more I started, questioning how effective is it to just do this one little piece for them. And the more I started realizing that they're not thinking long term in terms of their marketing. So a master marketing kit for who I am and what I do is important to start communicating that to
man, I love everything you just said. Like everything you're saying now, like I'm getting excited. Like you said, we dug deeper now into what CDH Live Productions is, and it's given me insight. First of all, I find it super poignant and a perfect real life example, or what do they say? A teachable moment. They always talk about that with kids. This was a teachable moment for me as an artist, creative artist, because I work alongside with you doing Live and Rock for the last year. And above and beyond that for many years before we started the show, knowing who you are and knowing about CH Live Productions. And still up until this second, not really understanding the depth and the just exactly how broad the services are that you're looking to provide and or do provide. But like you said, you've only been doing, mostly from my observation, a piece of it for this person, a piece of it for that person, but I never once really put the pieces together in my head. And that's why I required you to do that. And I like that. And now that you have, it's like it sparks in me an excitement, and it's not even my, you know what I mean? Like I wanna sit down with you and have a consultation type of thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's all. That's where it starts for me with my clients. But the funny thing that I'm really glad why we're having this conversation is that, it's been growth. When I started out, I was thinking, maybe I could just do flyers and make some extra money. But again, just through experience and growth, and the more I studied, the more I did it, the more I learned, etc. It became more and more important for me to say, I need a more holistic approach to be effective and to be more true to myself and my clients. So at the end of the day, a master media kit for CDH Live Productions, it's almost like the essential thing that I have to do. I have to. It's like they say, you can't be you can't be pushing the product that you don't use for yourself.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to being able to use myself as a I forget the word right
guinea
now, but
pig or
not a guinea pig, an example of what the steps were.
Yeah.
And I can do that for certain things with clients I've worked with in the past, and say, you know what, we did this video project and these are the results. They got these many views, etc.
Yeah.
But a holistic approach. Yeah.
Yo, I love that, yo. It's like you said, it is essential, and it's definitely, it makes sense as the main first goal for, CD Slide Production 6 months from now. So I'm definitely looking. Now I'm super intrigued to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Now you set the bar. My expectations are high, like for this master marketing kit, because it shows everybody what you would do, and it will help you get clients. When a client comes in, it's like, okay, this is what you need.
And here's the part where your question about how realistic is it becomes interesting. Because like I said, right now I don't market, but I do get clients who come, call, email, and they want services.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting over the next 6 months to see, how I'm able to manage those clients that come my way, and the time that might be needed towards them versus this goal.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's possible it might end up being a different client's media kit.
Right. That ends up being the example.
Right.
But still, I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, it still doesn't negate the fact that this is a major goal that has to be done.
Yes, it does.
Whether, even if you got another client and you do a perfect execution of a perfect example template of a holistic media kit,
I still need to
you
do it
still
for
need
myself.
your own calling card for the company to get the next client.
Absolutely true. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's essential that you work on that.
Yeah.
So 6 months from now, I mean, we're going to talk about the steps in our next episode. Is going to be what is our strategy to get those things done, those goals.
Speaking of that, is it okay for us to just throw out a couple of the
strategies? Yeah,
just high level, not too in depth. How much time do we have?
Sure. We literally only have 6 minutes, I want to say.
Okay, so I want it because I'm very interested to hear some of your strategies and action steps that you have in mind.
Okay. Oh, you mean right now?
Yeah. Sorry. Like I said, just very high level. Like
yeah. Well, very high level, we've already talked about one, which is meeting people face to face through the Comic-Cons, event appearances, primarily Comic-Cons. So over the next 6 months, last Sunday was the first one, and I have a lot more between now and October. So my goal is 6 months from now.
Right.
Second high level is through video and or podcast versions of my show.
Okay.
So to help increase the viewership, readership, I need to add a multimedia presence online, because text blogs and books and stories and all that is hard to generate. So those are the two major high level strategies.
You know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
Not intentionally, but naturally, that filters through what we were just talking about.
That's true.
Because step one, live events, what do you need there? Some kind of
material,
some kind of visual thing to leave them with.
Yes, yeah.
And step two, you said, is the video content.
Yeah, video
which
and
needs
or
to be,
audio.
the better produced it is the better results it can achieve.
Yeah.
And so that's that's kind of fascinating. But along with that, I just wanted to mention that for me, the goal itself in terms of relevance is about producing measurable results.
Yes.
So when I say my goal is to create a master marketing kit, I'm talking about a master marketing kit that produces measurable results.
Okay.
And so those are my steps to get to the measurable results.
Right.
Is to produce a master marketing kit and utilize it.
Okay.
So I have my logo, I have my website, I have my press kit, but because CDH Live, the artist, has been going through transition in the last little while, I just want to bring some more better cohesion between the two, CDH Live, the artist, CDH Live, the production company, so that there's a clear line from one to the other.
So, sorry, I just had a thought.
Yeah.
You want to make a master marketing kit for the company?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I just want to find. Do you have a master marketing kit for the artist yet? That's what my question was.
Well, no. The answer is no.
Okay.
So they go hand in hand.
Okay.
Because CDH Live, the artist, is the face of CDH Live Productions.
Okay, we don't have time to get into it now on this episode for sure.
Not.
We only have 3 minutes. So we're going to have to touch on that again. But now we definitely have to talk about it because I don't know if that can work. Is that really going to be in your best interest, or is it better? Because I don't know. I'm not saying it can't, but when you say it, my gut initial response or reaction is, that doesn't seem like it sounds counterintuitive to me. It seems like they should be more separate. Like,
okay, we can definitely talk about it on the next episode. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The next episode, we will dig in a little bit more on how it makes sense for CDH Live artists to be the face of CDH Live Productions.
Yes, and more important, or more specifically, we're also going to spend time getting into the nitty gritty, the actual, like day to day, week to week
action steps /
strategy plan. What are you going to be doing each week to get to this 6 month goal?
Right.
And even for me, with my goals, actually, part of my getting to my goal was also restating. So I rewrote again, changed them from the last episode.
That's good.
To be more focused on really what my goal is, which is creating content.
Yeah. I definitely am a believer in some kind of one page or, one image that just states the goal.
Yeah. Cool. So I think this one is a wrap.
Yeah.
What do we need to do before we go out, bro?
So, of course, thank you guys for tuning in. That's episode 24. We are now officially just one more episode away from our 1 year anniversary at Live and Rock.
That's true.
We're going to be celebrating. Go ahead.
Yeah, 2 episodes from now will be the anniversary celebration episode.
Yeah.
So the next episode,
yeah. Imagine that. We
are gonna have a special guest on that episode.
Right.
At the end of this month, Sunday, May 29th, I believe it is. Oh, I thought you were looking on your calendar. Sorry.
No, I was actually just pulling up our Twitter feed to shout out a few of our newest followers, like Business Rockstars, 1% PR, Standish Promotions, Michelle, the Twitchers, Red Siphon Music, and Adelik. Oh my God, she's going to kill me for mispronouncing that probably. Yeah. But anyway, we've been getting new followers on Twitter very consistently.
Yes.
We are hopefully going to start getting more subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And, well, I guess we'll have to produce the video show again. And also on Spreaker, we want to start engaging.
Yeah, that's what to say. I mean, as you mentioned, Twitter and all that, that's another part of the high level strategy. Is the social media side of it, which I'll talk about on the next episode. But I mean, that's part of my strategy for me reading the goal. But that includes Live and Rock, right? So
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So it feels pretty good, man. I'm really glad Nicole was able to join us for this show.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Stubbs, Shifter Magazine, Milo Flex, Desi D, Zaki Ibrahim, Tanika Charles, and shout out. More than just a shout out, but like a moment just to acknowledge the artist formerly and currently and forever known.
Yep.
Prince.
Purple rain, purple rain.
Wow.
Sorry, my singing is obviously... That's why I'm a writer.
Yes, definitely.
No, yes, definitely. We definitely have to acknowledge that.
Yeah. It feels like we're definitely on a good path right now. No? Shell?
Yep, definitely. Sorry, I don't know. Sorry, because I'm trying to multitask. We're recording live, right? So the computer is giving me all kinds of warnings and things are popping up right now. So I'm on the screen. I'm just trying to. I got distracted. I'm sorry. Right. Our time is done, basically. So we gotta cut it. And
so for next episode, the challenge is to be able to say in 30 seconds or less. Right now, I'm focused on this goal, and this is my next step.
Got that. I already got that, yo. I'm good to go.
All right.
I was just itching to let it fly on this episode, but we just didn't have time. So,
well, like I said, 30 seconds.
I know, but it's not just the third. It's not just the time, but it's also the context. It wasn't appropriate.
So it's not really ready, is what you're saying.
It's ready. It's just the context of when to say it.
All right. So next episode will be the appropriate time.
Thank you. All right.
So, thank you guys again for tuning in, man. It's great to be able to work with people that you respect and admire their creativity. And we're going to be coming back to continue this journey on episode 25.
Yeah. But until then, we got to say it what we always do. If you're going to live,
you might as well rock.